7 signs your creatinine is too high, and you don't even know it. Have you ever wondered why some health issues creep up without showing obvious warning signs? High creatinine is one of those hidden concerns. Unlike a sudden fever or sharp pain, it doesn't always make its presence felt right away. Creatinine is simply a waste product your muscles naturally produce, and under normal circumstances, your kidneys filter it out smoothly. But when your kidneys start to struggle, creatinine quietly begins to build up in the blood. The tricky part is that most people don't realize it's happening because the early signs are often subtle, easy to dismiss, or confused with everyday tiredness and aging. When creatinine levels rise, it's usually a signal that your kidneys are under strain. This doesn't just affect your urine, it can influence your energy, your digestion, and even how your body handles waste and fluids. The changes may seem minor at first, but together, they show your kidneys need attention. In today's video, we'll highlight 7 key signs that point to rising creatinine levels. They may appear small or ordinary, but each one is a vital clue your body gives before the problem becomes serious. By understanding these signals early, you can take smarter steps to protect your kidneys. Let's begin with one of the most common yet most overlooked signs of high creatinine. Persistent fatigue and low energy. We all experience tiredness after a busy day, but kidney-related fatigue feels very different. It's not the kind that goes away after a good night's rest. Instead, it lingers, weighing you down even after you've had enough sleep. This happens because when creatinine rises, it means your kidneys are struggling to remove waste efficiently, and that toxic buildup affects the entire body. When the blood is carrying excess waste, your muscles and tissues don't receive the proper oxygen and nutrients they need to stay energized. As a result, even simple tasks like walking up the stairs, cooking a meal, or carrying groceries can feel unusually draining. People often mistake this type of exhaustion for aging, stress, or a busy schedule. But in reality, it could be your kidneys signaling that they are overloaded and your body isn't functioning at full capacity. Another factor that worsens fatigue in high creatinine cases is anemia. Healthy kidneys produce a hormone called erythropoietin, which tells your body to make red blood cells. But in reality, it could be your kidneys signaling that they are overloaded and your body isn't functioning at full capacity. This lack of oxygen deepens the feeling of tiredness, leaving you exhausted even without heavy activity. This kind of fatigue is also mental. People with high creatinine often describe it as a foggy or heavy feeling in the brain. Concentration, focus, and memory can all be affected because the brain isn't receiving clean, well-oxygenated blood. Over time, this creates a vicious cycle: poor sleep, reduced activity, and constant exhaustion that keeps dragging you down. Unfortunately, many dismiss this sign because it doesn't come with sharp pain or obvious distress. You might think you just need more coffee, more rest, or more exercise. But the truth is, if your body feels unusually heavy day after day, the underlying problem could be much deeper. Ignoring it allows creatinine levels to keep rising silently, putting more pressure on the kidneys. So if you find yourself feeling drained for no clear reason, even after proper rest and nutrition, don't brush it off. Persistent fatigue is more than ordinary tiredness. It's a signal from your body that waste is building up and your kidneys might be struggling. Listening to this early sign and getting your creatinine checked could help you take preventive steps before things progress into more serious kidney complications. Now, let's move to another very noticeable but often misunderstood sign of high creatinine. Swelling in different parts of the body. This extra fluid seeps into the tissues, creating puffiness or bloating that may appear around the ankles, feet, hands, or even under the eyes. When your kidneys are not functioning well, they fail to remove excess fluid and sodium from the bloodstream. Many people mistake this for simple weight gain or fatigue, but repeated swelling is a clear signal that something deeper may be happening. Swelling linked with high creatinine often follows a certain pattern. For example, puffiness around the eyes may be most visible in the morning, while ankle or foot swelling becomes more obvious later in the day after long periods of standing or walking. Unlike normal water retention that can come from eating salty foods, kidney-related swelling tends to linger and may not go away easily with rest. This is because the kidneys are no longer able to keep fluid balance in check. When waste and fluid accumulate in the body, they don't just cause cosmetic puffiness, they create a burden for your heart and blood vessels. The extra fluid can increase blood pressure, make it harder for the heart to pump, and worsen overall circulation. Over time, this can add to fatigue, discomfort, and a general feeling of heaviness throughout the body. What may seem like a minor inconvenience is actually a warning that your blood chemistry is no longer balanced. Swelling can also come with pain or stiffness in the joints. Extra fluid around tissues sometimes presses on nerves and muscles, making movements uncomfortable. People may notice their shoes feel tighter, their rings don't fit, or their legs feel unusually heavy. These small, everyday changes are easy to dismiss, but together, they reveal the kidney's difficulty in maintaining fluid control. It's also important to note that swelling may vary from person to person. For some, it shows in the face, creating puffiness under the eyes. For others, it's mainly in the lower body. Regardless of where it appears, consistent swelling should never be ignored. It's your body's way of saying fluid is not being managed correctly, which almost always ties back to kidney health. If you notice swelling that happens frequently, especially along with tiredness or changes in urination, it's time to pay closer attention. Edema is not just a cosmetic issue. It's a direct signal from your body that waste and water are not being processed properly. It's your body's way of saying taking it seriously, and getting your creatinine levels tested can make a huge difference in protecting your kidney function. Fluid is not being managed correctly, which almost always ties back to kidney health. Now, let's look at one of the most direct signals your kidneys give you. Changes in urination. Since creatinine is filtered out through urine, any rise in creatinine usually reflects a shift in how your body produces or expels urine. This might show up as foamy or bubbly urine, which suggests protein leakage, or urine that is darker in color, pointing to waste buildup. Sometimes, you may also notice urinating more often, especially at night, or in some cases, producing much less urine than usual despite drinking normal amounts of water. These changes happen because when your kidneys are strained, they lose the ability to properly filter waste and balance fluids. Instead of clearing creatinine and toxins efficiently, the kidneys allow proteins and other substances to escape into the urine. At the same time, fluid control becomes unstable, leading to either more frequent bathroom visits or, in contrast, reduced urine output. Both of these extremes can indicate that your kidneys are struggling to maintain normal function. Many people dismiss these signs as normal consequences of hydration, caffeine, or aging. But the reality is that urine is like a daily report card for your kidney health. If you notice that your urine looks different for more than a few days, or your bathroom habits suddenly change, it's not something to ignore. These changes often appear long before more serious complications develop, making them one of the most valuable early warnings. Foamy urine, in particular, is a common yet misunderstood sign. While occasional bubbles can result from speed of urination, consistent frothiness indicates protein is leaking into the urine, a clear red flag for declining kidney function. Over time, this protein loss can also lead to swelling and muscle weakness, compounding the effects of high creatinine. On the other hand, reduced urination can be just as concerning. Producing very little urine despite adequate fluid intake may point toward a serious decline in kidney function. This is because the kidneys are no longer able to filter blood efficiently, allowing toxins and creatinine to stay in the body. Left unchecked, this can quickly worsen into dangerous fluid retention and further kidney damage. So if you notice urine that looks different, comes with unusual frequency, or reduces suddenly without explanation, don't ignore it. These patterns are not random. They are your body's way of signaling that creatinine is rising and kidney health may be at risk. Paying attention to these small but important details can help you catch kidney stress early and take timely action. Before we move forward, I'd love to hear from you. Have you ever noticed signs like unusual tiredness, swelling, or foamy urine in your daily life? Type yes if you've experienced any of these, or no if this is new information for you. Now, let's move to a sign that many people don't immediately connect with kidney health. Shortness of breath. When creatinine levels rise and kidney function weakens, the body struggles with both fluid balance and red blood cell production. Excess fluid can leak into the lungs, creating a heavy, breathless feeling, while reduced red blood cells mean less oxygen is carried through your body. This double strain leaves you gasping for air even during light activities like walking, climbing stairs, or sometimes just sitting still. Fluid buildup in the lungs, known as pulmonary congestion, is one of the most serious consequences of high creatinine and poor kidney health. It doesn't always feel like sudden suffocation. Sometimes it shows up as a constant heaviness in the chest, or the need to pause and catch your breath frequently. At night, it can make lying down uncomfortable, forcing people to sleep propped up on pillows just to breathe more easily. This is your body's way of warning that fluid balance is not under control. Another reason shortness of breath occurs is anemia. Healthy kidneys release a hormone that signals your body to make red blood cells, but when kidney function declines, this hormone drops. Fewer red blood cells mean less oxygen in your bloodstream. Without enough oxygen, muscles tire quickly, the brain feels foggy, and breathing becomes labored even with minimal effort. What feels like simple tiredness is actually oxygen shortage caused by weak kidneys. What makes this sign tricky is that people often confuse it with asthma, heart problems, or just being out of shape. While those conditions are also possible, ignoring the kidney connection is risky. If you're short of breath, and it appears alongside other signs like swelling, fatigue, or changes in urine, it may not just be a lung or heart issue. It could be your kidneys struggling to manage fluid and waste. In many cases, breathlessness develops gradually, making it easy to overlook. You may notice you're walking slower than before, needing more breaks, or avoiding stairs altogether. These small adjustments feel normal, but over time, they show how much your body is compensating. Paying attention to these subtle changes is vital, because by the time breathlessness becomes severe, kidney stress is often advanced. This symptom also disrupts sleep. Many people with high creatinine wake up at night feeling restless or short of air. This poor sleep quality only adds to fatigue and reduces overall well-being, creating a cycle where the body is constantly deprived of both rest and oxygen. When breathing is affected this way, it's not just a matter of comfort, it's a signal of serious imbalance within the body. So if you find yourself unusually breathless, whether it's while exercising, talking, or simply lying down, it's important not to ignore it. Shortness of breath is a strong indicator that something deeper is wrong. When combined with high creatinine, it becomes one of the body's clearest cries for help, showing that kidneys, lungs, and circulation are all under strain. Now, let's talk about a sign that often shows up in the stomach. Nausea, vomiting, or loss of appetite. When creatinine levels are high, it means waste products are building up in the blood, and this toxic overload irritates the digestive system. Many people begin to feel queasy, lose their desire for food, or even experience a metallic taste in their mouth. What feels like a simple stomach issue is often connected to the kidneys' struggle to filter waste. The digestive tract is very sensitive to changes in blood chemistry. As toxins accumulate, the body reacts with discomfort, sometimes causing nausea soon after meals or even when the stomach is empty. This isn't the occasional upset stomach everyone experiences. It tends to be more persistent and doesn't improve with simple remedies. Over time, these repeated digestive problems make eating a burden, which can further weaken the body. Vomiting is another sign that may appear when creatinine is too high. The body sometimes attempts to purge itself of toxins through this route. While it may offer temporary relief, frequent vomiting only worsens fatigue and dehydration, both of which put even more strain on the kidneys. For people already dealing with kidney stress, this cycle can quickly spiral into further weakness. When creatinine levels are high, it means waste products are building up in the blood, and this toxic overload irritates the digestive system. Loss of appetite is perhaps the most subtle, but most dangerous of these digestive issues. The thought of food may no longer feel appealing, and meals that once brought comfort now taste unpleasant. This often leads to unintentional weight loss, which reduces muscle strength and energy levels. Without proper nutrition, the kidneys are left even more vulnerable, and the body cannot fight back effectively against rising creatinine. Many people confuse these signs with common stomach problems like indigestion, food poisoning, or acid reflux. But when digestive discomfort becomes frequent and shows up alongside other symptoms like fatigue, swelling, or foamy urine, it may be your kidneys that are sending distress signals. Ignoring these patterns allows creatinine to climb silently. Loss of appetite is perhaps the most subtle, but most dangerous of these digestive issues. If you experience ongoing nausea, unexplained vomiting, or a sharp decline in appetite, it's essential to pay attention. These are not just passing digestive issues. They are clear reflections of how kidney stress and high creatinine affect the body as a whole. Recognizing them early gives you the chance to act before kidney function declines further. Now, let's move to a sign that shows up on the surface of your body. Persistent itching or dryness of the skin. When creatinine is high, it means your kidneys are struggling to keep the balance of minerals and fluids in your blood. This imbalance often causes irritation that shows up as itchiness, dryness, or rashes. While many people assume skin problems are caused only by weather, allergies, or soaps, they can sometimes be a clear reflection of kidney stress. When waste products accumulate in the blood, they don't just stay hidden inside. They affect the skin, which is another organ of elimination. Uremic toxins, which should have been filtered out by the kidneys, circulate in your system and irritate nerve endings. This leads to itching that can be mild or severe, sometimes even disturbing sleep. The skin may feel tight, rough, or flaky despite using moisturizers. Another reason this happens is because of mineral imbalance. Failing kidneys often allow calcium and phosphorus levels to shift, and these changes make the skin more reactive. People with high creatinine may develop patches of irritation that don't heal easily, or experience itching without any visible rash. This can be frustrating because the cause is not on the surface. It's deeper inside, tied to kidney function. The dryness that comes with kidney-related itching is also unique. Even if you drink enough water, your skin can still feel dehydrated because the kidneys aren't distributing fluids properly. This creates a constant feeling of discomfort. Over time, scratching can break the skin, making it prone to infections and worsening overall health. Many mistake this for simple seasonal dryness, especially in colder months, but if the problem persists despite good skincare, it's worth considering kidney health. In fact, doctors often look for skin changes as an external sign that creatinine and other waste products may be too high. The skin, after all, is one of the first places where internal imbalances show themselves. This kind of itching also affects quality of life. It can interfere with sleep, reduce focus during the day, and create emotional frustration. Living with constant skin discomfort makes it harder to rest and recover, creating another cycle of stress on the body. When linked to kidney issues, this symptom should never be ignored or treated only on the surface. So if you notice unexplained itching, dryness, or skin changes that don't respond to normal treatments, take it seriously. Your skin may be telling you what your kidneys cannot. High creatinine often reveals itself not only through fatigue and swelling, but also through these persistent skin problems that reflect what's happening inside your blood. Finally, let's talk about a sign that affects your mind: difficulty concentrating, poor memory, or what many describe as mental fog. When creatinine levels rise, it means your kidneys are struggling to filter out waste products effectively. These toxins stay in your bloodstream, and since the brain is highly sensitive to changes in blood chemistry, they can interfere with normal brain function. This often shows up as confusion, forgetfulness, or a heavy, cloudy feeling in your head. You may find yourself misplacing items, forgetting recent conversations, or struggling to complete tasks that once felt simple. This mental fog isn't the same as occasional distraction. With kidney-related brain fog, the problem becomes consistent and noticeable in everyday life. Reading, working, or even following a conversation may suddenly require more effort. Some people describe it as feeling present physically, but mentally disconnected, as if the brain is not fully awake. This is one of the body's ways of signaling that waste is building up and disrupting mental sharpness. Another reason for brain fog and high creatinine is anemia, which often develops when kidney function declines. Healthy kidneys produce a hormone that helps the body create red blood cells. When this process slows down, fewer red blood cells circulate in the body, which means less oxygen reaches the brain. Without enough oxygen, your mental performance suffers. You feel slower, more forgetful, and unable to concentrate for long periods. The emotional impact of this symptom is also important. Brain fog can lead to irritability, sadness, or a lack of motivation, especially when combined with fatigue. It may feel like you're unable to think clearly or stay engaged with the world around you. This doesn't just affect work or study, it affects relationships and daily interactions too, often creating feelings of frustration or worry. What makes this sign tricky is that many people mistake it for normal aging, stress, or lack of sleep. While those factors can certainly affect concentration, persistent mental fog along with other symptoms like swelling, fatigue, or changes in urination should never be ignored. In such cases, it may be your kidneys trying to tell you that creatinine levels are rising. This symptom also highlights how deeply kidney health is connected to the whole body. When waste products are not filtered out, they don't just harm your kidneys, they affect circulation, oxygen supply, digestion, and even brain chemistry. That's why brain fog is such a powerful reminder that kidney stress is never an isolated problem, it ripples into every part of your life. So if you notice ongoing confusion, frequent forgetfulness, or an unusual struggle to stay focused, don't brush it off as just stress or tiredness. It could be your body's quiet way of saying that your creatinine levels are too high. Paying attention to this early sign, especially when combined with other symptoms, gives you the chance to act early and protect both your mental clarity and your kidney health. Now that we've explored the 7 signs of high creatinine, let's take a quiet moment to reflect. From persistent fatigue and swelling to changes in urination, skin irritation, and even mental fog, these are not random issues. They are the body's way of signaling that the kidneys are under strain. By noticing them early, you can seek medical guidance, make supportive lifestyle changes, and protect your long-term health. If you found value in this video, please give it a like and share it with someone who may need this information. Don't forget to subscribe to Eat to Heal and turn on the notification bell, so you never miss the next step in your healing journey. And if you're ready to walk this path with awareness and care, type healing in the comments.